Okay, let's get started. Now we are discuss about the Poetics by Aristotle. Theory of imitation in literary criticism. What is theory? It is an uncertain belief or supposition or a system of ideas intended to explain something. What is imitation? It is copy, print, forgery. Introduction. The term imitation was not used for the first time by Aristotle. The term had already been used by Plato in the Republic, but Aristotle's use of the term is fraught with new dimension. He gave to it a greater precision of meaning and a greater scope. We have to see what Plato employed by the term imitation before we can realize how Aristotle enlarged its implication and meanings. The theory of imitation is one of the oldest and most fundamental concept in literary criticism, tracing its roots back to classical Greek philosophy. It revolves around the idea that all art, particularly literature, is an imitation means mimesis of life, nature, or an ideal reality. This theory has evolved over centuries, shaped by philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, and later thinkers during the Renaissance and Neoclassical period. In the ancient Greek tradition, Plato was one of the first to formally express the concept of imitation. In his dialogues, particularly in the Republic, Plato argued that all art is a mere imitation of the philosophical world, which itself is a reflection of a higher, perfect reality, the world of forms or ideas. Therefore, in Plato's view, literary work are twice removed from truth and can potentially mislead the audience, especially emotionally and morally. Contrary to Plato, Aristotle offered a more favorable view in his seminal work Poetics. He considered imitation to be a natural human instinct and the foundation of learning and creativity. For Aristotle, literature, especially tragedy, imitation not just outward actions but inner truths, universal patterns, and moral dilemmas, rather than distorting reality. Aristotle believed that imitation in literature serves to represent, interpret, and even elevate real life experiences. Over time of imitation expanded and was reinterpreted by thinkers in various literary periods. During the Renaissance, imitation was seen as a way to emulate classical masters and to refine contemporary artistic expression. Later neoclassical critics emphasized decorum, harmony, and the imitation of nature as rational and ordered, reflecting human reason. Today, While modern and postmodern theories have challenged or redefined the idea of imitation, favoring originality, intertextuality, or even fragmentation. The fundamental role of imitation in literature remains a key concept in understanding how texts relate to reality, other texts, and the audience. In summary, the theory of imitations continues to influence literary thought by raising important question. What is the purpose of art? Should literature reflect reality, ideal forms, or the inner life of the individual? Is imitation imitating or liberating for the creative process? Okay, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.